Are live on Google Hangouts, and in about 30 seconds, we should be live on Alpha Geek Media. Hello, everybody. No video stream. Why is it people? Oh, 70. I like it. Gary says at 1700:02, 2 seconds after 5 o'clock, he says, why is there no video stream on Chrome? It's because you were several seconds before me. Sorry about that. Here we come. And let's see. Steve, can you confirm that I'm live where I think I am? It looks like I am. Yay, live now. There Haley sees me. Hi, Haley. I'm glad you could come.
Yes.
I know it's late for you.
You do appear to be live. I'm going to go put you on Alpha Geek.
All righty. Let's see and see. Somebody has to solve a problem for me. I have a problem that I cannot solve. And I've written about it, but nobody's come up with a solution for me. I have these keyboard shortcuts from iOS that keep sneaking back in onto my Mac. I deleted them on all three of my, both my iOS devices and both of my Macs in the keyboard shortcuts, and they keep sneaking back in. And they're driving me nuts. They really drive me nuts because I don't want them on my Mac. 27. All right. We are live on Alpha Geek Media, Alpha Geek Radio, Alpha Geek Video. We're live everywhere, live and direct. So let me see. Let me do a quick check, audio check here. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. Now we'll do some playback. Okay, Steve, you need to mute that. Okay, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. All right, it looks to me like you guys can hear that. Steve, can you confirm?
Yep, you got audio.
All right, and Big says, who is minion of Big Kev? Has he got, is John or Sarah or any of them in there? In the chat room, is that who the minion is? All right, let's go ahead and get started because we've got an eclipse to go see. If you're in the... Actually, I wonder what hemisphere, you pretty much in all hemispheres, apparently you can go watch the eclipse. It should be at full eclipse at in 2 hours and 9 minutes. So we will be done by 6 o'clock so we can eat and then get out there and hopefully see it. It's getting a little cloudy out for the first time in forever, of course, now that we want to go outside and watch the eclipse. We'll be just rising when we get to see it because it gets rises at about 7:39 p.m. for us. So, and it's at 7:11, I think, that the eclipse takes place. So let's get started. All right. Someone in Tulsa is minion of Big Kev. Uh-oh. Is that George? Hey, George. All right, here we go. See, that text is not quite big enough. There we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, September 27th, 2015, and this is show number 542. Well, as it turns out, being retired is awfully hard work, so Steve and I have been forced to take vacations to get away from our hectic life of getting up late, drinking coffee, and fooling around on the internet. Last week, we went wine tasting for a few days, and then up into the mountains, where we got up late, drank coffee, and fooled around on the internet, while looking at and smelling pretty pine trees. I put out a plea for some help with the show, and both Stephen Getz and George from Tulsa came through for me with great reviews. I did a little bit of work for the show, so you'll get to hear from me too. But let's start off with Stephen Getz' review. Sweet. I think this is Stephen's debut. Is that correct? Anybody remember if Stephen has been on the air before? I don't think he has. Stephen Brother Review. There he is. Save. All right. I can't see. Is that? Ooh, he might need to be boosted some. So you'll get to hear from me too. But let's start off with Stephen Getz' review.
Hi, I'm Stephen Getz, and I would like to give you my thoughts on the Brother.
I'm going to pop this up a little bit, Steve. I think that needs to go up some. Probably come up fine in the levelation. You'll get to hear from me too. But let's start off with Stephen Getz' review.
Hi, I'm Stephen Getz, and I would like to give you my thoughts on the Brother MFC L2740DW all-in-one laser printer. But first, the problem to be solved. As part of my job, I get tons of paperwork. Invoices from vendors, work orders, forms, and communications from operations. The HP OfficeJet inkjet printer I had been using has decided to no longer feed paper properly.
Actually, I'm going to cut out that gap for Stephen. Let's see. I think that would be better. A little bit tighter. Sound like he hesitated there. There we go.
Forms and communications from operation. The HP OfficeJet inkjet printer I had been using has its
Sound like it cut him off.
communications from operation. The HP OfficeJet inkjet printer.
Hang on.
And communications from operations.
Oh, okay. He did just a slight little. It's really hard to hear that, but let me get rid of it there. All right. Let's slide him over a little bit.
And communications from operations. The HP OfficeJet inkjet printer I had been using has decided to no longer feed paper properly. I'll have to find a replacement printer. I was pretty sure I wanted a laser printer because the printing I do is mostly text-based reports, meaning it would be much more economical to use a monochrome laser versus inkjet. I also depend a lot on the scanner fax capability to archive documents like invoices due to the small amount of space I have to store such documents.
All right. I'm going to keep going here. All right. Let me finish this up here.
TEVENGOETZ.ca. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. That was fantastic. This Brother laser printer sounds really terrific. You know, I did look it up on the Amazon store in the US, and it's around $200. And of course, I put in my affiliate link in the show notes. You know, I decided to post Stephen's contribution to podfeet.com as a guest blog post and, you know, of course, spam the universe about it as I do my own posts. In Google Plus, a bunch of people weighed in with really high marks for Brother printers. I got to say, I never would have considered Brother before this review. You know, I'm used to talking HP, Canon, Epson, those are the big names, but I will definitely consider Brother in the future. Well, there's a lot of iCloud options for your photo. No, it's not iCloud. There's a lot of cloud options. There's a lot of cloud options for your photos these days. If you have an Office 365 subscription for $99 a year, you get a terabyte of storage along with it, so you can throw your photos up there. Dropbox is another good choice. Once you get over the hump of agreeing to pay the $99 for a terabyte for that service, instead of mooching off of the free service forever like I used to. Google wants all your photos too, and while you can store lower resolution photos for free, you'll shell out a wee bit more at $119 for a terabyte there and get full resolution storage on Google services. Apple was always seen as the high-cost alternative because for the same $119 a year as Google, you only got 500 gigabytes of storage instead of a terabyte. In the latest announcement, though, Apple doubled the storage to match Google's cost of a 1 terabyte plan for $9.99 a month, also known as $119 a year. They also dropped the price of the other plan, so 200 gigabytes is only $2.99 a month, which is probably enough for most normal people. I mean, not NosillaCastaways, of course, but you know, like your brother, your neighbor, your hairdresser, normal people. Heck, your brother can probably fit into the 50 gigabyte plan for $1 a month. Anyway, I bring this all up because, as you know, I've been a proponent of Apple Photos and iCloud Photo Library since it came out because I just love having access to all of my photos from everywhere on every device. This last week, I had the perfect example of how this makes me so happy. In April of 2011, Steve and I went wine tasting with our good friends Diane and Bill up to the San Ynez Valley and visited the Fess Parker Winery. You know, the Daniel Boone guy? Well, anyway, we ended up outside with a lovely and somewhat nutty woman named Adriana doing the pouring for us. She was a good sport, and since she was fun and I'd had some wine, I decided to turn the tables on her and pour her a glass of their wine, the Big Easy. Yeah, the cadence was all wrong on that. In April of... I'm going to try that again. You know, sometimes you just get the accent on the wrong syllable. In April of 2011, Steve and I went wine tasting with our good friends Diane and Bill up to the San Ynez Valley, and we visited the Fess Parker Winery. You know, the Daniel Boone guy? Well, anyway, we ended up outside with a lovely and somewhat nutty woman named Adriana doing the pouring for us. She was a good sport, and since she was fun and I'd had some wine, I decided to turn the tables on her and pour her a glass of their wine, the Big Easy. Steve thought it was funny, so he snapped a photo of us, and Adriana made these googly funny eyes at us. We had a blast with her. Now, fast forward to this week when Steve, Devin, Marianne, and I went back to the Fest Parker winery. We walked in and Steve noticed that the same woman, Adriana, was there pouring wine again. I grabbed my iPhone, opened photos, ran a search on Fest Parker, and there was the photo of me pouring wine for Adriana. I didn't say a word to her. I just walked up and held the phone up to her. She screamed with delight. I'm not kidding. She screamed. She was supposed to be going off shift soon, but instead decided that we must reenact the photo. We realized that she had on black just as she did in the photo from 4 years ago, and I happen to have on a red shirt, the same color of the shirt I had on 4 years ago too. So we were able to take a nearly identical photo down to pouring the same bottle of wine, the Big Easy. Before we had spotted Adriana, the other woman pouring for the tastings had told Marianne that she could not have a Pinot Noir in her tasting list. But after goofing around with Adriana, she bent all the rules for us, and I think Marianne ended up with like 3 different kinds of Pinot in her tasting. The bottom line is that I continue to be a big proponent of iCloud Photo Library for the fun of pulling up old photos to have more fun. And now the pricing isn't even a penalty. You get all of the photo editing tools and the storage for photos and all of your photos on all your devices, and you can store other types of files up there too. So iCloud for the win and Apple Photos for the fun. What have I missed? Let's see. What's everybody chatting about? All right. Let's see. Nuris and Haley are friends on Skype now. That sounds like problems are going to ensue. What are you going to do there? Let's see. Ooh, John noticed something new about the iPhones and live photos. What is that? Ooh, you're getting your Apple Watch tomorrow. Cool, Haley. Let's see. Live photos taken on iPhone that text me are still live on your phone. Yeah, that's right, John. That does work. It doesn't work on other services yet. Steve, when did they said it was going to work on Facebook? It's going to be in October, I think they said.
They just said later this year. I don't think they gave a month.
Okay, they didn't give a month, just later this year. All right. There is one thing I don't like about iCloud for storage. You can't do selective sync. So I have Dropbox on my MacBook with limited storage. So what I do is I selectively sync just certain folders. iCloud makes you do everything. So yeah, that's one little downside there. All right. All right, let's see. We're going to have hear from George from Tulsa here. Here we go. Now, we also have another great review from George from Tulsa. When I mentioned to Stephen Getz that we had a review from George coming up, his immediate reaction was, "It's been too long." I could not agree more. In his own unique style, here's our review from George from Tulsa. Let's see. Here we go. Let me drop another. Duplicate that one, and we'll put George up there. George goes here. And I think I need to name that one George. George. And let me see how this looks. George looks like he's got good volume. Let's see what we've got here. Here's our review from George from Tulsa.
Google just told.
Looks like we got some noise on that, but.
And maybe a touch low.
Touch low?
Loud.
No, he sounds really loud to me. Oh, loud.
That's what I said.
Okay, I think
loud, yes.
Oh, okay. I think it'll be okay. Unique style. Here's our review from George from Tulsa.
Google just told me that a hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure, or a small horse. Years ago, back when I had a film SLR and lots of lenses, flashes, and related gear, photography stopped being mostly fun about the time I was invited to a wedding, asked to bring my camera, then learned on arrival the budget-constrained bride was relying on me instead of a paid professional. That's not a hobby because it sure wasn't a pleasure. I like taking pictures. My daughter, the art school graduate married to a professional photographer, lured me into buying a camera to shoot raw, then gave me a brief starter tutorial in how to tweak RAW and edit my photos further in Photoshop. Hey, that's work. And as a reminder of my earlier escape from that rabbit hole, along came an invitation to a family reunion and, oh, yes, please bring your new camera. I continue to take a lot of digital photos, some with my 2 higher-end cameras, but most with either my cell phone or an HTC RE. That's a RE. The RE has no viewfinder. In appearance, it reminds of an asthma inhaler. There's just a couple.
I'm going to try something. I just, let's see, we're at 10:10. I'm going to go back. I just ran George's audio through this new tool I've got called Auphonic and ran a noise cancellation thing on it. I want to see if that sounds better because it's got a low frequency hum going on there. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, wow. Might be good. Well, here's our review from George from Tulsa.
Google just told me that a hobby is an activity done regularly.
Wow. That sounds great, doesn't it, you guys? That was like, I didn't have to sample that at all. I just did Steve, I just did a normal, like I just clicked the box that said noise and hum reduction.
Play that again, the 2, if you could.
It's a little harder for me to play the 2, but I can do it. Wait, how would I do that?
If it's too hard, forget it.
How would I do it? Let me do this. Yeah, I can do it. I'm gonna put it on. I'll just put it on a different track and then delete it off that track and turn it off that track. Okay, so first you're gonna hear. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to mute that track. Okay, this is the original as George recorded it.
Google just told me that a hobby is an activity done regularly in.
Okay, and now let's hear the same thing with the noise reduction.
Google just told me that a hobby is an activity done regularly in.
Yeah, big improvement.
Yeah. Okay, so we were at fast forward. We were at like 10:10, I think.
And I don't hear that much distortion. Normally, those noise reduction programs distort it quite a bit. So that's pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Butter and selects between still and video. The other puts video into slow motion. The Re's trick is an ultra wide angle lens. It's so wide I have to remember to hold it away from my body so my feet aren't in the shot. It's so wide everything in front of the lens is photographed. Use as is or crop. The Re does best in bright sun, though it's difficult to avoid lens flare depending on where the sun is. Even in dim interiors, the sensor captures a lot of image, though post-processing is necessary to bring it out. The little camera works fine standalone. It plugs right into a computer for photo downloads, but its real strength depends on the Android or iOS apps that manage its images, and can also function as viewfinder and shutter. I've mounted the Re on a tripod and videoed hummingbirds in flight. In the spring, it snapped some great pictures of incredible landscaping, photos possible only with a very wide-angle lens. By setting the Re on the end of a long table, it's possible to image everyone at the table, including the photographer, who can snap the shutter remotely while seated. Don't like the fisheye effect? The Re app will remove it. The little camera is fun and funny looking enough. No bride's going to spring a surprise role as a wedding photographer on someone with a Re. Still, the Re is small enough it could be mounted unobtrusively in a sanctuary and video the entire event up close and personal. Hours and hours on a 64 gigabyte card, and unlike some cameras, it'll work when connected to external power. I'd like to also mention Google's free Snapseed application, both iOS and Android. It's my photo editor of choice, easily and non-destructively bringing up dark images, creating highlights, spot editing, changing color quality, filters, the works. My daughter, who after graduating from art school was hired by the university to teach Photoshop, uses Snapseed on her iPhone to quickly turn out results that rival what she can do with Photoshop on her Mac. HTC Re has been on sale with accessories for as little as $100. Snapseed is free.
All right. Very good. Very good. Let's see. No. Okay. All right. So we are at 12 minutes. I should probably keep going. Thanks, George. Oh, wait a second. I heard a click there at the end. Let's get rid of that little click at the end. Command T, click that, delete that, delete that. Leave my voice there. There we go. Thanks, George. That's a really cute little device. You really do have to see this, you guys. It does look like an inhaler. I put a link, of course, to the HTC Re in Amazon with my Amazon affiliate link if you want a fun little camera for $100. That's really, really cool. Well, I'm going to tell you a story now, and I promise it ends with an actual review of the Manfrotto Compact Action Tripod. But first, my story of why I needed to buy a new tripod. When I got my first SLR camera, the Minolta X700 in 1980, I also bought a tripod. I used that tripod for more than 30 years. Finally, I suggested to Steve one year that perhaps tripod technology had advanced a little bit and that a new tripod would make a lovely Christmas gift. I did a little bit of research and I found a Manfrotto tripod that looked really cool, and I gave the link to Steve. When Christmas came and went and there was no tripod, I went out and bought it for myself. I remember I didn't wait for the holiday cheer to subside, and we went over to Best Buy near Steve's sister's house, and where we're celebrating the holidays, and I bought the Manfrotto I'd had my eyes on. Fast forward a year or two, and I slowly started to notice that whenever I wanted to use my tripod, Steve had already anchored his camcorder to it. I never seemed to be quick enough to snag it first before he laid claim to it. So last Christmas, I asked Steve for a replacement tripod. He actually got me one, and it was great, but it wasn't anything like the Manfrotto I'd picked out. It was a good tripod, but I could never get used to how it opened. It sort of folded inside out to itself. Like when you pulled it out of the bag, the legs and the tripod mount were both on the same end. After a minute or two, I would remember how to make it go, but it never quite worked as easily as I wanted. Last week, I decided to buy myself a third tripod. I decided to check out Manfrotto since I like my original one so much. At first, I was finding tripods costing hundreds of dollars. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend a lot on a tripod and get a really, really good one. It's just that I use one maybe 4 times a year, so it's not really worth it to me to go so high end. I settled on the Manfrotto Compact Action Tripod in red. Here's what I like about it. It's light, weighing in at only 2.5 pounds. It fits that sweet spot between light enough to carry and not so light that it will get easily knocked over. Ask Bart about that problem. This one is made of aluminum and technopolymer. It sounds like a made-up word to me. The payload this camera can hold is 3.3 pounds, which means it's definitely not meant for giant professional cameras, but will easily accommodate a consumer DSLR or a Micro Four Thirds camera pretty easily. Each leg has 4 clasps to telescope the legs, making it around 18 inches long, and it fits easily into the included bag with a shoulder rope. At full extension, it's 61 inches tall, which is definitely tall enough for me. The thing that sold me on it, both the first and second time I bought it, was the pistol grip for rotating the head. You grab this handle like you would a gun, and there's a thumb wheel that you simply rotate forwards and back to lock and unlock the rotation. It's the fastest method I know to allow you to move the camera around on the end of a ball and really get to rotate it quickly and get it level and then quickly lock it back in place. I love the pistol grip on this tripod. One big improvement they made from the old model to the new one is the way the camera attaches to the tripod. On the old one, there was a plate that you had to screw into the bottom of the camera with a coin. The plate was almost, but not quite square, so I always had trouble getting it aligned correctly to connect it back into the tripod. I'd always be off by 90 degrees. The new Manfrotto has a simple 1/4-20 screw with a knurled knob that you can easily twist into the base of your camera. Then you place the camera onto the tripod by dropping the knob into a circular hole and flip a lever to lock it into place. So much easier. I have to thank listener and friend Jamal for helping me figure out how to rotate the camera into portrait mode, because that baffled me on the photo walk with Trey Ratcliffe. In nearly complete darkness, he noticed that there's a knob on the left side that you rotate 90 degrees, and it allows the entire ball head of the tripod to rotate into the portrait position. It's easy to do, but it would have taken some study for me to figure that out. Finally, the thing I like about it is that it's red. Why is that a good thing? That's so Stephen P. will not steal it from me. And by the way, it was only $70 on Amazon. Bottom line, the Manfrotto Compact Action Tripod in red is inexpensive, light, and easy to use, perfect for my needs. Are you looking for it? Isn't it hanging to the right of the shoes?
In here?
Yeah, that's where my tripods have always been. Oh, good night, Haley. I guess she's going to bed. All right, he wants me to show it to you.
You shouldn't have told me where it is.
Well, oh, no, I told him where it is. He says he's going to steal it. All right, so here's the case. This is all the, upside down. The lovely Manfrotto logo there. And let's see. It's a little bit snug. Oh, that's why I was having trouble going in. I said it fits nicely in the case, but I got it caught on something, I think. There you go. Yeah, there we go. That's why it was hard to get in and out this last time. All right, so this is the pistol grip I was talking about. So you undo this this little rotating lever here with your thumb, and now the ball head just goes like that. It won't go in this axis. That's what you do, this lever on the side that I was talking about that Jamal figured out for me. So you turn that, and now you can turn the ball head. Let's see, how does it work? Oh, that's right. You turn that, and then you flip it. Can you flip it? And now I can rotate it 90 degrees, so I can put it in portrait mode. So that's this little thingy here, which, like I said, I never would have figured that out on my own. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. But this is the best part. So this is there's a lever here. You flip that open, and now this little thing comes out. So that's the 1/4-20 screw I was talking about that goes into the bottom of your camera. So you thread that in, then you drop it in here and to the top, and then you hit that, and boom, your camera's on. So that's all you got to do. I love it. Poor tripod hanging in by the shoes. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm not going to mess with this. I got to put that back together after the show. All right, here we go. All right, let's do a Clarify ad. Okay, here we go. Ready? Yeah, the red really looks good. Steve's is almost identical. Let's see. Here's a picture. Oh, it's not up there yet, is it? Why did it give me that? Well, I put a picture in the article that there is a and there's a typo now that I just remembered. There's a picture of our dueling tripods now. Let's see. Trip. I wrote trip once instead of tripod. Nobody noticed. You guys are supposed to catch my typos in the articles, you know. All right, here we go. In Chit Chat Across the Pond in a couple of minutes, you're going to hear Bart tell us about a new set of Bluetooth headphones he just purchased. And in our discussion, he mentioned that using iOS 9, you can actually see the battery status of Bluetooth connected devices under the Today widget. I thought this sounded pretty slick since I never know when my headphones are going to die. I worked out how to turn this feature on and tested with my $17 Bienna headphones, my Apple Watch, and then repeated it on my iPad with the Jawbone Jambox. Now, it's not a super obvious thing to set up, so I decided to make a Clarify tutorial on how to do it. I took a half dozen screenshots on my iPhone, then exported them from Photos on my Mac and dragged them into Clarify. It's easy to reorder steps in Clarify by just dragging them up and down in the left sidebar, so I didn't have to take care in dragging them in the first place. I put some annotations on the images, like an arrow to show that you needed to scroll up to get to something, a box around a button to be pushed, and some text on screen. It's fun to mess around a bit with the colors and transparency and how roundy you like the boxes too. I noticed something a teeny bit personal on one of the screenshots, so I dropped in a blur rectangle to obscure it. Now for some text to explain what we're doing. I pushed the button to post it as a tutorial on podfeet.com in draft mode, and then went over to see how it looked. There's the best part. I saw a few things I'd missed and some things I wanted to change. So I hopped back over to Clarify, made a few quick edits, and pushed the WordPress button again. Clarify very quickly assesses what's changed and only uploads the changes, and boom, I was done. After that, I hit the Save to Evernote button, and I knew I had my tutorial safely stored both locally and in the cloud, and also accessible from all my devices should I ever need to edit the document. I just love making these tutorials for people. If you want to be a hero too, or just help remember things for yourself, go get yourself a free trial of Clarify from clarify-it.com, and be sure to tell them that Allison sent you. Have you bought your weekly copy, Kevin, of the Clarify? Let's see, I just saw a typo. Okay, I wrote Clarify very quickly, asses. I think we should call that assesses.
Let's keep it clean, puppy.
How do you spell assesses? Is there like 5 S's in that?
Oh.
That doesn't sound right.
A-S-S-E-S-S-E-S.
E-S, yeah, there's 5 S's. Huh, got lucky.
That's a lot of S's.
It is a lot of S's. All right. Okay, Kevin, cover your poor sick ears. And we're going to bring in a jingle here. Favorites, jazz, 44th Street long, right there. Boom. All right, Kevin, you put your sorry, sick little ears back on. And then let's go here and let's get us some chit chat. There we go.
Elephant.
Yep. Okay. Get back to normal sitting position here. Yeah, Clarify guys might not like that. It's possible. You know, I don't know, Sandy, they're funny that way. Right.
Hey, which Ballast Point shirt do you have on?
I don't know. The black one.
Turn around. Oh, wait. Move to the right a little. And straighten your shirt out.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It's the Imperial Stout Sea Monster.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You guys may not have been able to hear Steve, depending on how you were listening, but Steve needed to see which Ballast Point shirt I was wearing. So, by the way, Ballast Point is going to be on, they're going to be drinking Ballast Point on Big Bang Theory. I'm so excited. All right, let's do a symbols check, Steve.
Ready.
All right, pay attention this time. No goofing around. Sometimes you forget to listen. There you go. -it.com, and be sure to tell them that Allison sent you. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Chit Chat Across the Pond, and Bart Booth Shots is back this week. And are we going to have time for anything but security this week, Bart?
A little bit, hopefully, but yeah. So I think I've been giving everyone sort of a running update of how many items are in my RSS feed. And I think last time I was like, oh my God, there was like 60 something. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it was 87.
Maybe we should do Security Light every week. Just,
I guess it wasn't helped that I missed a week. So this is 3. Yeah, because I should have been on when the professor was on.
Oh, right.
But the weather
was sunny
good.
out.
Yeah, it was sunny out, and actually, the typical irony. So last weekend it was okay; the sun was out. Today, I spent the whole day inside podcasting, and it was 20 degrees Celsius.
Oh, well, we normally have a rule that if it's sunny in Ireland, we don't podcast that day. That's the law, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be sunny tomorrow as well. So,
oh, good. Okay,
assuming the forecast is in any way believable. Well, actually, speaking of something else that I forgot to put in the show notes, but I'll just throw it in here. For people in the Northern Hemisphere, there is a total lunar eclipse on Sunday into Monday.
Yeah, except for us, it's going to be really short because the moon rises, or the eclipse starts like around 6. It's at 7:11 p.m. is when it's in full. Yeah. But it doesn't rise until 6:56. So we're going to get like 14 minutes rising. Of it. Yeah.
You're going to get it rising. That's kind of cool, though.
It might be neato.
If you can get yourself in a place where you can see that rising over the mountains or something, that would be exceptionally cool photo.
The trick is to get from recording the live podcast to someplace high enough up to see east.
Yeah, that's pull it off for your coast. Yeah, you're on the wrong coast for looking east.
Yeah, it could work though. We could do something. I hope so.
Well, okay, so it's at like 6 p.m. your time. 3 guesses what that means for me.
6 + 8, carry the 4.
We're talking like starting at 1 a.m.
Change it to metric. Oh, but it's dark then at least.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I booked the day off work Monday. It doesn't finish till 5 a.m. my time.
Wow. Okay, cool.
But anyway, assuming the weather continues to behave, I'll be doing that. Anyway.
All right, let's talk about Xcode Ghost, shall we?
Yes, so I figured this one was big enough to pull out into a little section of its own.
Yeah.
So this is the first time there's been a dramatic security issue on the iOS App Store. It's not a catastrophe, but it's also not nothing. So there is there, although thankfully it's not as bad as people had feared. Interesting that the attack wasn't directly at the App Store, because the App Store security is actually quite good. So the attackers went sideways, which I guess, if you want to be successful at attacking, be sneaky. So the attackers were sneaky. In China, well, okay, everyone who develops for the App Store uses Xcode, because that's how you compile iOS apps. And Xcode is very much the opposite of a...
Well, guys, you know what? I think I'm actually going to skip to the end here and go ahead and publish the show, because I have, I want to eat and then go watch the Eclipse if it's out. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and do this. The show is... that's all right. Never mind. Let's see. All right. Sounds good, Bart. We'll talk to you again next week then.
Okie dokie. Until then, happy computing.
All right. Here we go. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Many thanks to our sponsor for helping to pay the bills, the makers of Clarify over at clarify-it.com. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions like Lynn York did this week. And we haven't answered it yet, but she did send in a question. Send in those questions, comments, and suggestions. You can email me at allison@podfeet.com. Follow me on Twitter @Podfeet, and check out the NosillaCast Google Plus community. I get a lot of help over there. George from Tulsa's in there like a crazy man, helping people, posting deals. A lot of great questions and answers and debates going on in our Google Plus community. So go check that out at podfeet.com/Google Plus. If you want to join in the front of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Ooh, it looks like somebody just jumped in. NC54582 just showed up. Yeah, George is the man helping out. That's for sure. All right. So Kevin, ears off. There we go.
I may go to start things to get ready for the clips.
That would not make me sad at all, because I'm hungry.
Okay, I'm
sorry. All right. Bye, Steve. Oh, don't forget to come back and stop Alpha Geek Radio, though. Media.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Bye. And enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Yeah, it's getting there, George. We've got 586 or 568 members now, I think. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The middle of the show's missing. Oh, what happened? Oh, no, I think I hope that's just Stephen Getz' review that's missing. That's not good. This may take longer than I thought. Let me see if that's what's... Oh, no. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, whew. It's just Steven missing. Huh. Oops. Okay. When I was fiddling around with playing, I deleted George. It's a long story, but when I was playing the second copy of George's side by side for Steve, I put it on the same track as George's, and then of Steve's. Anyway, I deleted it. It's back, but I'm going to need to check it. Hi, this is Alice. Yeah, most people aren't posting, but enough people are. I think I like it. It's enough. Chatting. Yeah, I did move yours. Yeah, that might be. But let's start off with Stephen Getz' review.
Hi, I'm...
Okay. So you get to hear from me too. But let's start off with Stephen Getz' review.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Okay, it's good at that end.
GOETZ.ca. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. That was fantastic. This brother Lee. Okay, there we go. All right. Whew. It was kind of scary. I thought it was stuff I'd recorded. If I had his, I'm golden. It's oddly aligned, though. Wait, I want to go this way, don't I? There we go. That is odd, but it does line up. And that still lines up there, so that should be okay. All right, so select all. Whoops, nope, we got to be like right here. And Kevin, sickly little ears off. Back here, about right there. Select all, deselect that one, slide it out until it looks like it sounds dramatic, like I'm amazing at dropping the music in. 542. Was it? There we go. 2015, and this is show number 542. Well, as it turns out, being... All right, let me make sure I like this. With Stephen Getz review.
Hi, I'm Stephen Getz.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's weird. There's an overlap with my recording, but there's no way I could have done that live the first time.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. That was fantastic. This brother laser. Yeah, Dorothy got a lot of stuff on the. That's right. Dorothy posted a question about the. Oh, hi, Tessa. Dorothy posted a question about the wanting an iPad dictionary, and she got a bunch of great answers. I was worthless, but no, I was a translator. That's what I was. All right, I think we are about done. Oh, no, I haven't joined these segments here. Let me join. Let's see. So John, as far as what you should post, one of the things I did in the Google Plus community, and it really helps if the owners do this, is I made categories that sort of give you a hint about what you should post. For example, there's a section there called NosillaCast Ways Show Off. So if you got like a blog post you did that you're really proud about or something, you're really excited about something, it's okay to post that. Don't spam us, don't do it all the time, but it's nice to have that. There's a dumb question corner segment or section. George posted a couple of deals. And I thought, well, wait a minute, we should have deals up here. So I made a section for it. So that sort of tells you that's the kind of stuff I expect. So questions, discussions. I have ones that just I use, like blog posts and I use NosillaCast Way Show Off whenever I talk about some other show I was on. So it kind of gives you a hint of what the owner of the community wants you to talk about. I think that that helps. All right. I am ready to share this export song to disk. I think I did everything. Let's go ahead and start that. So I am actually going to cut us off a little bit early. It is 6:42, but 5:42. I want to give everybody time to have a little snacky poo, maybe a little beverage before you go watch the eclipse. I hope you guys get to see it. I hope I get to see it. Like I said, it's getting cloudy. We'll see. All right. Bye, everybody.